With Biden revealing his potential tax hikes that are coming down the pipe, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to break down, dig a little bit deeper, and see who will bear the biggest cost for this potential tax hikes. I know Biden has come out and said that it will be the upper end of the classes, the people making over 400K, but let's see if this is really the case. I found some conflicting information that actually may be the middle class that could be hurt the most. But again, let's stay tuned. Let's break down all the information. And if this is your first time here, my name's Nick. Welcome to Ways to Wealth. Before we get into the video, I'd like to ask you a huge favor. If you learn something new or you get some value out of the video, smash that like button for me. It would definitely help me out. And if you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turning that notification bell on. I would definitely appreciate that. Let's do a high-level overview of everything that is supposed to be included into this tax hike. Obviously, there's still things that will need to be voted on. Some things may not make the cut, some things will. So this is just a understanding of where we could potentially be going. With that being said, let's hop into the computer. Biden reveals a sweeping tax hikes to pay for the $2 trillion infrastructure plan. There will be a lot of taxes coming to help pay back some of the debt. So let's not take that as a shock. So ahead of a speech in Pittsburgh to promote an over $2 trillion infrastructure plan funded by hikes that could hit both companies and the upper middle class, the Build Back Better proposal presented Wednesday will be split into two tax and spend packages for Congress to weigh, with the first focusing on infrastructure and the second focusing on the Democrats' domestic policy platform, obviously bringing that manufacturing and U.S. companies home, making America a great place to do business. The White House branded the tax hikes as a Made in America tax plan, and they are likely to face a bitter partisan fight in Congress. This is obviously coinciding with the battle that's going to happen between the Democrats and the Republicans. But again, let's do a high-level overview of all the things that are supposed to be or wanting to be included. Boosting the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%. In 2017, Trump had cut the corporate tax rate. Trump cut it from 35% down to 21. So Biden doesn't want to bring it up all the way to the original 35. He just wants to bring it to 28%. So a 7% increase of where it's at today. A hike on taxes on overseas investment of US based companies. This change would eliminate a rule that the first 10% isn't taxed and set to a 21% tax rate that applies on a per country basis, meaning firms can't offset the profits in tax havens with higher taxes in other countries. This is actually very interesting. I do like this approach better than Trump's China tariffs, the Chapter 301 tariffs that were imposed. Obviously, tariffs are paid for by the U.S. companies. They're paid for by people at the end of the day in the prices of the products when they're going to the store to buy them. This would actually help these companies realign to where they're manufacturing, where their offices, where their people are throughout the world, by eliminating potential, tax havens, whether that's in Ireland, but that's something that will come up shortly. Reform to make it more difficult for U.S. companies to perform an inversion that technically shifts their residents abroad to lower taxes, as many U.S. firms have done so to relocate on paper to Ireland and other lower tax jurisdictions. So I think there was a case with either Amazon or Starbucks where the UK government was trying to go and get tax money, whether it was Ireland or the UK. My apologies, I forget. But they do use this as a potential tax haven, and there's companies like Amazon that the Democrats are coming out and saying that they haven't paid taxes for the past 10 years, and if they don't start paying now, when will they? We could be using that money not only to be paying back the debt, but obviously to, help pay for this infrastructure bill, or to help reform education, or have other positive political things that would go in to whatever the government does with the tax money, for lack of a better word. Next, changes to limit tax write-offs for offshoring jobs, and steps to end tax policies that benefit the fossil fuel industry. We talked about this in the 3 sectors or companies that would do really well if Biden were to be elected. One of those was renewable or clean energy. This is fitting the bill of what was expected, what we were expecting to happen if Biden were to be elected. He talked about it a lot. This is just a part of his political platform, and he's following through on that portion of it. A new 15% minimum tax on corporate profits reported to investors, so that deductions won't allow for lower payments. That portion is something that is interesting. I'm not entirely sure of what that could potentially be. There's another point that I found in the article that I wanted to point out. Obviously, if you're an investor investing outside of a non-registered account, Biden is expected to also push for a pair of tax hikes that will hit higher income Americans and people who pay capital gains taxes on investments like stocks and real estate. So it'll be important for us to keep an eye on what those taxes are. In Canada, it's a little bit separate. In the US, I understand that there's not as much capital gains tax, so this will definitely take away from any profits that you have if it does get passed through, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Again, going back to the original concern at the beginning of the video is these tax hikes, are these tax hikes only particular to the upper classes? Well, I found a Bloomberg article that talks about how the Biden tax hikes will really spare the middle class. No, they will not. And we'll talk a little bit about why this could potentially be happening. A higher corporate tax rate lowers the after-tax return on additional investment. Less investment makes workers less productive, which in turn makes them less valuable. If workers are less valuable, then businesses will reduce efforts to attract and retain them, putting downward pressure on starting salaries and restraining wage growth. So if the burden of corporate tax would increase, it would definitely fall on the workers in terms of wages. So if these companies don't have as much money to be putting into R&D, into wages, if they have to pay that money to the US government, that's the argument that we're seeing right now. We're also seeing the argument from the flip side, from the Biden platform, basically going back to the fact that we were talking about before. We could be using this money for infrastructure. We could be using this money for debt repayment. We could be using this money to help make the education system better. So this is basically talking into the fact of the macroeconomic theory behind it is if the corporations have less money to spend, they will spend less money. It's as simple as that. Obviously, the fact that Trump did cut the tax in 2017 will make this a little bit challenging for Biden to push through. I know that there's some Democrats that are a little bit more conservative in their business and having the government get involved in the business side of things. But at the end of the day, what we're seeing from this article is that the quality and winner of the political debate won't change the fact that workers, very much including those with incomes below $400,000, will see their wages fall if Biden hikes the corporate rate. That's the only reason not to do it. Future prosperity will be strengthened if the U.S. continues to be thought of as a place for corporations to set up shop and do business. A tax rate at least as low as the ones in Europe and most of the other advanced economies is one way to ensure U.S. global competitiveness. If you tax something, you get less of it. Does the U.S. want less corporate tax income? I don't think so. So obviously, if you were to impose these things, there will be a potential for these corporations to step back and look at the bigger picture, whether it's just beneficial to do operations in Ireland. Will that affect them on the short run basis of, having that brand in the US be as strong? So that'll be something to watch. We also found an article from Fox Business, which highlights a little bit more of the economic impact. So Biden corporate tax hike could hit the middle class Americans. Here's how. Basically, what I want to point out from this article is that the broader economic impact that raising the corporate tax rate could have. Recent findings from the Tax Foundation show that Biden's plan to raise corporate taxes would reduce GDP. It's the broadest measure of goods and services produced in the country by almost 1%, but it would eliminate 159,000 jobs. It would also reduce workers' wages by 0.7%. And, with the whole inflation talk and the wage growth, that's kind of two of the things that are very important with a inflation or a growing economy. So if we actually see potentially wages pulling back, it's not the best outcome or the best prediction of where the economy should be going. Economic literature shows that corporate income taxes are one of the most harmful tax types for economic growth, as capital investment is sensitive to corporate taxation. The corporate income taxes raises the pre-tax returns for the firm to require to pursue investment opportunities, reducing the pool of investment that firms find worthwhile to pursue. Basically, they won't have enough money for research and development. I know we've talked about it a little bit before. The next thing I want to talk about is Biden's plan to increase the minimum wage. That seems to hit a stalemate in the debate so far. We've seen the Democratic senators prepare to surrender the $15 minimum wage that their party promised by insisting they are powerless in the face of a non-binding advisory opinion of the parliamentarian. Basically, the explanation is patently ridiculous and factually false. So Democratic apologists are starting to further justify the surrender by suggesting that the party kept a $15 minimum wage in the COVID relief bill. Conservative Democrats such as Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema would have blocked it anyways. Basically, there's some Democrats that are not on board with this, and that's kind of their excuse. It doesn't look to be moving forward anytime soon, so that whole political ploy was definitely pushed off. Another thing that I want to bring to your attention, something that is potentially being talked about, and that's stepped up basis. What is stepped up basis? Well, it's when people inherit assets. A tax rule called stepped up basis, but also referred to as step up in basis, provides potentially huge benefits. Assets that are passed down in a will generally have gained value since the deceased purchased. The capital gains are taxable when the asset is eventually sold by the inheritor, and the stepped up basis minimizes the tax bill. In the world of taxes and accounting, basis is where you start calculating capital gains. So we'll go through a little bit of an example, and hopefully that'll help give you a further understanding. So what we can see here is that Anne is a middle school teacher living alone in Austin, Texas, makes $60K a year. Biden promised not to raise taxes on those earning less than $400, so Anne doesn't have to worry too much when the administration passes a series of tax increases. But when Anne's bachelor uncle suddenly passes away, leaving her a Tampa Bay condo, pretty sweet, having no desire to live in Florida, she wants to sell it. It's going for $600. which is a lot greater than what her uncle paid back in the day, 100K for. So that's a $500,000 profit. What would stepped up basis do? Stepped up basis would reset the time, so it would change the fair market value, which would be very same or similar to the 600,000 sale price for Anne. Now, if the taxes impose, what'll happen? So this would nix the stepped up basis. So again, taking it back, and when she receives the Tampa Bay condo, her stepped up basis or her gain would be $600,000, meaning that there would be no additional capital gains paid. If the stepped up basis is taken away, if it's eliminated, that stepped up basis or the original cost to Anne will go back to that 100K. So let's take a look at what that would do financially. It would mean that Anne would gain 500K on the property. The long-term capital gain tax rate would be 20%. Anne's net investment income tax rate would be 3.8%, meaning that if the stepped up basis was eliminated, Anne would have to pay almost $90,000. $90,000. Obviously, this would be big for the government because of the fact that they could help pay back some of the infrastructure or the debt that has been piled up to the state. Efforts have been made to change this tax ruling before. It's not something new. 1976, 2001, and 2015. It's been shut down before, so not too much cause for concern, but we also didn't have trillions and trillions of dollars that was needed to be paid back. So it looks like this is probable. Obviously, I wish I had a crystal ball, but definitely something to take into consideration. Obviously, in the short term, you'll see people, hold off of selling things that are in inheritance. But definitely a $90,000 in comparison to zero. It doesn't make sense for the government to be profiting on that side of things. So you have an original plan that was supposed to be only the upper middle to higher classes paying for this tax bill. Seems to be that the middle class and lower will be paying for it. Higher corporate taxes mean these corporations have less money to spend on wages, less money to spend on R&D. You also have things like the stepped up basis or increasing capital gains on stocks and investments. This tax plan will affect everybody and anybody. Don't be fooled by the fact that they're saying that it'll only affect one class. So definitely will be very interesting to watch this tax plan unfold. What will be passed? What will be pushed? Obviously, the stepped up basis has been brought to the Senate before and shot down. So again, very interesting to watch this play out, especially when Biden wants to be printing so much money over the next 1 to 2 years. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some value out of it. If you're still here, please click that like button for me. And if you haven't, consider hitting that subscribe button, turning that notification bell on. I appreciate your support. I hope everybody is having a great Easter, Passover, whatever you celebrate. Have a great week on the market. Happy trading.